We cancel it.
Incendiary out.
Throw under the car.
Laying down smoke.
The guy's out.
Grenade out. Throwing flashbang.
Planting. Bomb has been planted. Terrorists win.
Pistol.
Yeah, nice point for Navi, definitely. Yeah, early on it seemed like NBK having got that one kill in connector, bought enough time for NB to start rotating, but end of the day, Happy and Shocks on A side, unable to get the kills, and Navi 1-0. Nice one. Nice round.
Yeah, really nicely done. Zeus as well, 3 kills that round. Didn't really even see him picking up that much, but it was just a really well executed bit of play. But this looks a little bit more decisive very early on. Maybe going to put the Mac 10 to use his Edward, picking that one up. And the AK is very early purchased. Big investment, and that's going to be costly. Smith taking down Starrick so early on with just that P250. And a little bit of head armor to boot. And you can see the Deagle ringing out shots from that B side. Every single player from the CT side, barring Shocks, is already here, ready to go. And Shocks around the backside does spot out 3 of the players they're pushing in for this. This is a dangerous round. Happy and Shocks picking up kills. Is turning on its head. And there we have it. Shocks to close. And cornered in. Those AKs go over to the CT side.
Yeah, the straight up plays that Navi seems to like to throw in the second round just are not functioning.
Yeah.
Here we're going to see a key play from Shocks.
Beautiful. Making mincemeat of the T side there. They're just ripped to shreds. 1-1.
There we go. Yeah, 1-1. That what looked like a good start for Navi. Not so good anymore.
Yeah, certainly not. Now they're down to Tech9, so maybe they can find a little bit of that magic that the CT side did. An early exchange. Shocks for Zeus, Edward for Shocks. So an AK in the hands now of the T side with Edward actually who's got full smokes. Well, a smoke, 2 flashes, 1 nade, and head armor. So
yeah, they fully commented that like they've fully bought for that round. So they believe in the force of the Tech9 and a few smokes, no smoke and a few flashes. Let's see what they come up with.
And that UMP may not be so ideal considering the amount of armor that is with the T side, and Happy's starting to go looking and find out where they are. Smiths and Keo might be told be awares because there's nothing here, but there was Edward waiting. Another 1-for-1 exchange. The T side losing out on numbers quite early on. But now with 40 seconds left, they're just going to try and push the site with the 1 player on it. And Happy is waiting. Happy tries to pounce into this. He's not getting anything. He's not connecting. Oh, he had the opportunity of a lifetime to stop him. But now maybe they have a bit of a window of opportunity here. Smith, however, steps out from connector, gets the double, and makes it a triple.
Yeah, huge play by Smith there. Just basically denying it on his own. 3-on-3 usually, theoretically, I think it favors the attacking side, because that's gonna, most likely you're gonna have a side, well, most definitely you're gonna have a side with only just 1 defending it, but you know, Smith's just picking up the slack there in the end, and keeping EnVyUs on the lead 2-1, and forcing an eco from Navi.
Yeah, not so much armor, not so many Tech9s.
Nope.
And you can see why Shocks are getting quite aggressive, taking down Edward, and these guys looking like they're getting fairly happy to be aggressive in this. And a boost up from Keo there, going to try and challenge out as MBK waits to see what the T-side bring. Pulling a little closer, Happy from the back does get 2. So this is looking like it should. A nice clean round comes out, only losing Happy there, who did pick up the double regardless. So, good scoreline so far building for Envy, but I'm not going to read too much into it just yet, because it seems that Na'Vi can wake up at any point and turn scoreline on its head.
Yeah, they're going full AK. On Navi's side, they didn't have money to invest on an AWP, so let's see what kind of strat they're going to come up with. Money-wise, Envy is still not really holding a huge bank, but if Envy can string a few more rounds, then it's going to look scary for Na'Vi, definitely. So these couple of rounds are going to be very crucial on dictating in how this half is going to go. So, like I said, I feel like they need about 6 rounds to have a cushion to play with in second half.
Looks like an aggressive push of 3 players through towards the A side, and it's worked out poorly for CTs, as they've just been absolutely ripped to shreds by those entry kills, as you mentioned, coming in from the T side, taking down 2, smokes go down, complete control of the site in to the Na'Vi side. Shox tries to make the most of that little pop flash through the window, not going to have any of it. There's now just Happy and MBK left in a world of trouble. Might get one on the way out towards C's, but Zeus certainly looking willing to avenge, and well do manage that. And MBK, nowhere to go. It's going to be Na'Vi with a brilliant entry towards that site, and showing that they can certainly compete with the best.
Definitely, yeah, nice 2 entry kills on the site. That pretty much sealed the deal. You know, EnVyUs lost at that point when those 2 kills came on the board right away after that initial push. Didn't leave Envy really much of a chance for a retake. It's a really hard site to retake after losing it like that. And yeah, seems like Envy is going to force buy it. Considering the situation, this is going to be it's a bit of a risk that they decided to take, but a lot of the times they actually seem to capitalize on this risk. So let's see how it turns out this time.
And MBK just sitting in by connected by drop with only the CZ, so nothing going to come out of that one, and Starix will get himself very early into this round. Smith's going to have to pick up the slack and not going to have much more luck either. Seized follows up, and this is looking... Oh, they're good for the T side until right about then. Keo finding 2 of them on their way towards the E side, and now Shox, last man alive, 1v2 here. Bomb not down. Switches up the AK, pushes in, gets down Starix, 1v1 here. Zeus backing through the smoke, finding a position, going around the world, trying to catch Shox off on the push, and oh, Shox! A man who can constantly find these situations in his favour, picking up 3 that round, and getting another one on the board.
Yeah, I feel like he got the first kill too easy, actually. Whoever was pushing that door to connector gave it away for him, and then he just showed some Shox magic there. But other than that, Na'Vi just played it very nicely. Star's getting an entry kill, then C's getting another entry kill. Stopping.
There's always that one element, isn't there? There's a few of these players that can just go above and beyond what you can ever predict, and Shox being one of them. We've seen Guardian doing the same, and now we're just speaking of Shox.
Team play is a very huge part of Counter-Strike. It is the most fundamental part of our Counter-Strike, but there are moments when individual like greatness, such as players like Shox have, that will decide what happens in that round. But you cannot simply rely on that happening every single time.
No, it's something once in God knows how many rounds if someone counted it that you could pull off something like that. And especially against a team like Na'Vi, you don't expect them to lose 1v3s against people in an after plant.
Yeah, at this stage of the tournament, you don't expect those to happen every other round.
So you guys know the gravity. We'll be seeing Guardian actually pick up the ult this time, so Guardian up against Shox. The angle is being watched over. It is a pixel shot, and you get maybe a second to hit this, so if he does get it, it'll be very impressive. You can see Guardian starting to peer in, and Guardian will have the angle. Crouch comes out, Guardian going to remain dominant in this ult battle so far. Just the T-side push. Do they expect Happy here? I don't think they do. Nice spray control on the first. Not going to get a second. Guardian is starting to find that form very early. Seized. Finding 1. MBK showing him how it's done though. MBK with 2 this round. Huge kills.
Yeah, MBK, he's saving the day. It seems like basically he was the difference maker. MBK topping.
Something that we haven't seen, MBK doing for a consistent long time. He's obviously known for size AWP abilities here. There's no denying that, but often Smiths will be the one with it in hand, and or Shox, both playing it very well at the moment. Shox opting for it this time. And the T side struggling for cash here though. They are down to what we saw, not mounting much last time.
Yeah, the problem, the positive thing for them is that EnVyUs doesn't have a huge bank yet, even though it's likely going to be a 6-2 scoreline if ever EnVyUs by the end of this round. But at the same time, you know, they're easily going to slip away with this half as well, so they definitely need to start picking up. But the thing is that they've, like before with Envy on cash, it always went down, it has gone down to very close situations, and if that keeps happening, you know, there's a big possibility that Navi is going to scrape in a few rounds here and there, and which is going to make give Envy a problem with the money situation, and then maybe they can turn it around and start building some rounds, because I feel like I said, they need about 6 rounds here on the first half.
Well, Navi already have 2, so not a bad start for them. I think there is building blocks to be put in place, and we see what can happen. They seem to have these close rounds before, as you were saying, that once they kind of work out those, just, you know, that one step further, it seems to work perfectly for these guys. A bit of a switch up though, 3 players on B this time for the CT side. Happy and Shocked quite aggressively push forward on towards the side of A, so heading down by long.
Yeah, it seems to be the way to play Cobble CT. You have 2 guys playing aggressively on A, and then you have 3 guys playing on B to begin with, and the third guy starts playing more connector, and 2 guys playing deeper in B side.
Oh, nice little flash comes over. You can see Edward trying to make the most of it there, but it's actually mostly coming up for the T side at the moment until Shock stopped it in its tracks. Nicely done then, picking up Guardian and Zeus. Turning around, predicting that maybe there might be a follow-up, and that will be Starix going for it. Shox delivers again, 3 this round. Seized. It's going to fall to Kio's fate, not much to be done then.
No, not really. And now the thing is that this is going to help Envy build that bank we were just talking about, only losing 1 guy in that round. So that's a problem for Navi, that's for sure. And it so happened that Navi decided to push that long A halls, and Envy had 2-man stack over there with an op and an M4. Unfortunate for them. Good for Envy. And yeah, forced to an eco for Navi. And after this, they definitely need to step up their game, that's for sure. Because otherwise it could end up being a landslide.
So far we've really only seen Navi starting to excel when they get these opening kills, and I just don't seem to be able to find them at the moment. And maybe the Tech 9 play will, but the Molly slowing it down. Shox denies even Guardian a peek towards side, and this is looking like shooting fish in a barrel. And Edward, last man in this. This bomb is on the wrong side of that smoke, and not a great deal once again to be done by this man. He may be able to get something away from Happy here.
Well, it's a Tech 9, so anything's possible now.
Exactly, everything is possible with the Tech 9, if only you believe.
It actually says in the game description that this weapon is inaccurate. I don't know who came up with that. I disagree with that statement.
Hey, look, it didn't kill him in 1 shot. MBK stays alive, they'll maintain 4 players, and 8-2 is the scoreline. And as we said, Navi now need to kind of consider things. 8-2 is not looking good for them at this point. I think this is starting to become slightly more pressured now.
Well, yeah, maybe even timeout would have been similar to Dust 2. But maybe they know what they're doing, so they need to.
Let's hope so. Let's hope they know what they're doing.
Definitely. At this stage of the tournament, you really wish they do.
Well, something needs to be changed, and there's no 2 ways about that. 8-2 scoreline, you're not getting the entry frags, you're not getting these picks that you want, and
maybe keep it simple, like they did before. Like they just went in with a pop flash and quicker, speed it up. Seems to work better for them, and seems like we may just see something along those lines.
I'm hoping. Zeus looks like he might have either a smoke or a flash in hand.
Yeah, Kiyoshima's position though may just counter this completely.
Let's see if it does. Here we go. 1 flash towards the back of the site. Not going to really do much here. The push comes through. Actually starts to get 1, but as you predicted, Kio's position really hammering it through and not allowing them a foot towards the site. And you called it very early there.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that simple push to B with the pop flash, but Kiyoshima's positioning, I think they probably felt they were gonna try something similar because it worked so well last time.
Yeah.
So just great read by Envy. Just goes to show why they're this good and why they've been winning tournaments, why they keep winning matches, and just getting outplayed right now. Navi is.
It's a very different stack as well for the CT side. Always adapting it seems, and we saw this I think in the last round, but not the few prior. Only Shocks now on towards A, basically, with the AWP pushed up a little early. MBK here, Shocks still, even just the one-man band, managed to take down Guardian, so an early advantage came in, but was equalized. So 1-for-1 trade, where does that put the T's? Does it really open up much for them, or does it mean they're just kind of on par?
It means that the cities need to rotate more. There's going to be more weakness on one side, for sure, compared to when there's 5 people left. So that's definitely always going to be a opportunity for the T's.
I love watching those little duels, Shocks, seeing a glimpse of him, making a little sound, hoping Edward would peek, and just getting it in the bag. So now they're being backed away from you. You can see them watching the exits like hawks there. Smith does manage to claim seized, and it just seems one by one the T side are walking into the crosshairs of the CTs until finally Starix did get Smith down, but it's Keo again, the guy who just in the right place at the right time will get to and stops Na'Vi's any bit of confidence in its tracks. 10-2 is not looking good at all, I've got to say, and it looks like there is going to be another timeout here.
Yeah.
And another discussion coming for Na'Vi, and I think we theorized maybe the reason they didn't do it earlier was because they understood what they needed to do. They had a good mentality, like, okay, we just need to fix this. We just need to do this round, maybe. And it just didn't seem to come to place. Now, what do you think actually needs fixing for Na'Vi in this? What do you see going wrong?
Well, like I said before, they opted for that simple push to B, but EnVy was one step ahead, and they actually sort of anti-stratted that with their positioning. It seems like their picks, they're just sort of being like they're being outread all the time. It's one of those things where it's like a snowball effect. You try to think of a new way to encounter what they're doing, but at the time your opponent is adjusting their defense on their assumptions on what you're doing. And when that snowball effect starts rolling against yourself, it's a bit of it's hard psychologically, because you're like, okay, we've tried this, we've tried that, we've tried like 5 different things. It seems like they're always going to be where we're at. So
they're always in our head as well.
Yeah, so that's sort of a situation where you're going to start getting a bit desperate on, okay, is anything going to actually work? That's a very tough question to really answer, like what are they going to do, because at this point it's more about EnVy just doing the right moves on their defense than it is Na'Vi doing the wrong decisions on the other T side, I feel like.
I'm there with you, Fnatic in the audience, in kind of seeing exactly what happened with them up against Na'Vi not too long ago, having a very strong start to this, and Na'Vi really not finding much early on, and looks like the discussions have slowly petered down. It looks like they may have worked out what they want to try. You can see the audience with face masks of actual Virtus Pro, if you haven't noticed. If you haven't noticed at home, there are actual face masks of the entirety of Virtus Pro in the crowd, which is really unnerving when you're not aware of it in the morning. You see Viali walking past. However,
waking up next to a Taz over there, and, something along those lines, that'd be scary.
It would be a little bit spooky. However, I think Na'Vi are back now. I think they are just sitting down, buying up. Game is going back. So let's hope they haven't kind of thought themselves out of this game. They haven't overthought things. They just fixed the simple issues maybe that were going wrong from they feel a small tweak may do, or just that timeout to stop the momentum, anything that they can gain from it.
And definitely, like I said before, in earlier rounds, it always came down to very close situations. So they were always strategically doing right things. That's not the problem. They were just unable to close out the rounds. They were unable to win those 2-on-2s, 3-on-3s, and so forth. So I don't think strategically they were lacking that much, actually.
And it looks like they're trying something a little different, a little quicker, and Happy and Shocks might be on the receiving end. And a lot of T players. Edward bursts in, but MBK and Happy are in the perfect position to receive the rest, and the T side getting shredded here. Edward, though, might have made a way through, but still 2 players lining up for Smith. You know what he can do with these sort of situations. He got 1 on the exchange, and now 3v2. Happy is low, MBK not perfect either. Oh, but a beautiful position comes in between MBK and Keo. And, well, just Edward here. All per.
Yeah, it seemed like Na'Vi really wanted to speed things up, but didn't quite work out that well, to be honest.
No, definitely not. The positioning was just...
The CTs were playing aggressive downhill this time, while they pushed, so it's like every single time, whatever Na'Vi decides to do, EnVy, they're going to be a step ahead of you.
Yeah, and that must wear mentally on you so heavy when you've just taken a timeout, you try to adjust, and then this happens. Happy gets the first round in the bag once again, and EnVy 11-2 now. So it's starting to look almost unmanageable for the T side. They still have enough to buy up, so they're still trying to get something building for themselves, but as you said, it's when you start overthinking things, or you give time for the team to decide also to read into how you might adapt. What's the obvious thing they might try? Okay, speeding up a little. Alright, let's play for that, and you saw it. Envy not only reading their plays when they go for the all-in Bs, but putting Keo in such a brilliant position, even just then, just reading them like a book, and Na'Vi have to keep themselves steady here, because this is pretty much the ticket to the semi-finals. This is a huge moment. They fall back on Dust 2. It'd be such a shame to see it crumble here, but Guardian getting taken so low, so very early on, is not going to help this.
No, definitely not. It's not going to, like, what was the statistic again? 93%, is that right?
Yep.
That Guardian gets the first pick on. Na'Vi wins the round, so him being down to 15 HP this early on, not a good sign in that perspective.
Certainly not. Keo, MBK and Smith will probably be seeing some action fairly soon if the T-side do commit, but already a smoke just being placed in the way by, I think that was Keo's quite possibly.
A lot of knowledge going to be. Shox is already lurking all the way to middle trailer with Happy, so they basically know by now it's going to be a P-push.
You can see that the flash is already coming in. 40 seconds left. They are fully aware of where the T-side are heading towards. Smith adjusts towards drop, gets seized. Keo finds Zeus, and there's nothing working for the T-side right now. And look around the back. Here come the reinforcements. Starix is surrounded on all fronts. There is nowhere to run. There's nowhere to hide. And Smith closing it out. And you've got to say, Envy are playing a beautiful game at Mud.
Yeah, they are. That's something you cannot even explain. There's no, like, theory behind it. It's all instinctive. It's all about a feel. When things are just going right, they just keep going right. Yeah, it's not like they're being superhuman. It's just things falling directly to the right places all the time.
And I like the way that you pointed out, even when you don't see players, that gives you so much information, because you know where they are, and then you can start focusing on where they are. But Seize this time, over the double, but the auto sniper with Smith could cause havoc, and it has. That's 2 in a row. And there's so few options here for the T-side, but they're still clinging onto it. They have this auto sniper on towards Seize. Maybe they could put it to work. Shox, pop flash in, gets the bomb down. That's Zeus destroyed. And now Seize goes down to 13-2. That is a harsh half for Na'Vi to deal with, but a great beginning for Envy in the final map.
It's one of those halves where Na'Vi, in hindsight, can think, you know, what should have been. What should have been. We should have had 6 rounds, because they could have, definitely could have.
There were so many moments they were so close to it, seeming like it was theirs at times.
You got to remember, they even won the pistol round.
Yes.
And they ended up with 2. That's, you know, you don't call that a good half, that's for sure. When you win the pistol and you end up with 2.
Yeah, and the thing is, no one's not been present. That's the thing. Like, everyone's sitting on 8-6, but no one's been planning the entries. No one's been breaking into these sites. It's been methodical from the MV side, and it's just been so hard to get over with. And switching onto the other side, it's down to a pistol round, pretty much, it seems.
Well, definitely. That's for sure. That really, Na'Vi needs to take the pistol round and then just steamroll. And you know, the only right approach at this point when you're 2-13 down is that you're just going to take it round after round after round, just one run at a time. Doesn't matter what happened previously. Don't think about what's going to happen next. Just focus on the task ahead on the next 1 minute 45 minutes of each round. And I'm sure these guys are capable of that, but you know, it's definitely gonna need a strong start. And the thing is that you don't really have any room for error, and that's always a tough situation to have.
There is no room for error. You've said it perfectly. If they slip once, one player doesn't hit that shot, doesn't hold that angle, makes the wrong call, it can spiral, and that's them done. That's it pretty much. And Envy get through to the semi-finals. This is what it comes down to. The next couple of rounds. I know these guys have been in this situation so many times on the Na'Vi side. They are truly veterans of not only this game, but so many others. And you've got to say the pressure for them is going to be pretty much as big as you can imagine. Now, prediction, where do you see this one going? First round at least.
I hate predictions. Why are you putting me on the spot here?
Because I have to.
Well, Envy is probably going to win it. Win it out.
You reckon just straight from pistol they're gonna get this?
Yeah, I'm gonna be really just that brutal and sad, but let's see how it works out.
Brutality might be the only way it works. So guys, we are into the second half, the final half of the final map here. Zeus finds MBK first. And well, the T side continue to push, flooding in towards the A bomb side. Shox searching around for C's trying to dial away, and already this is looking like a done deal. As EnVy looking 1 foot in towards those semi-finals.
Yeah, it's a very, very hard retake. Stars needs to go wild, but nope. C's 7 HP left. 1 on 2. Not beat his task. He needs to literally one-tap both players.
Oh, you got a tag, maybe not the one tap.
Yeah, but yeah, these type of players are
7
going to give the
bullets as
opportunity.
well.
Oh wow.
He's got no bullets, he's trying to find a gun. He's finally got a Glock, the clock is against him. I think there was a kit around here, he might not get it, and it's going to be 14-2 now. It got close, but not close enough.
Closer than maybe he should have. Didn't have a kit that handy either, so, you know, he was running out of time there. It was not going to happen.
No. And we are seeing a big investment from the T side early on. Are we going to see those 2 Tech 9s, or are we going Galils for this one?
Yeah.
I think we're seeing the Galils.
Yeah, they know exactly the situation right now. Navi is going to pull it by, that's for sure.
They want job done rather than the risk, I assume.
So, they're going to try to get us good equipment as possible. Get in Jaegers and the Galils.
Let's see if any EnVy can show us how to do the T side to get themselves on match point here. Guardian catches a glimpse of one. He's in a lot of trouble now. A little bit of a flash to slow him down, get himself out of there, and readjust. Steez will move up. And now Happy spraying down towards Starix there. Happy does win out. We've only got C's so far making a dent for the CT side as the T's do start edging in towards A. This is looking like this could be match point, very much in the bag. Well, Zeus denies it, but last man in this one now, Edward. 1 by 1 they fell, and EnVy get themselves on towards match point now, 15-2. Na'Vi look like a shadow of the former selves in this one. I can't see them working their way in here.
Yeah, I'm disappointed. I was really looking forward to them showing what they're capable of from this map, because I know they especially CT side and T side too. I've seen some really good stuff in them. So, but these 2 matches here at the tournament seem to have turned out into a horrible slaughter for them. And well, let's not
Let's see how it goes. These might be able to turn the tide still. Takes down MBK and Keo. So maybe extending the pain if you want to put it that way. 3 still upstanding for EnVy. Make it 2 now. As just Smith and Shox here, they could do something. They could try and make it work. Guardian's Deagle comes through.
There we go.
And now Smith's 1v5.
Yeah, seems like Navi is gonna scrape around here.
15-3, it'd be the longest come. I don't know if I'd seen a comeback in a major of this caliber yet.
Well, there's
I think there's been a few, but I don't think they've been on stream so far. So who knows? Maybe, just maybe, Smith does get 1 towards seized. Now Edward fancies his chances, and Edward will get it. 15-3. They do get a lot of guns out of this, at least.
Navi's thoughts right now is hope does last.
And there's that CZ, just doing what it does best, sitting close range, spraying them down. And a nice little pop flash to boot. So, 15-3.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's a tall task.
It is, and I hope it doesn't get up with 3 Tech 9s and 2 Galils, but it may do. Team EnVy now buying what they can. They want to get this one done and dusted. They don't want to extend this out. They want to close this game. And it looks like they might be making an all-in play towards the B side. Zeus, Edward, Starks, Guardian, all here in the present. It's going to work. It has to work now from the CB side. They're trying to hold on. The smokes come in. Keo does get one down. It's looking a little bit shaky here. Shox follows towards Zeus. The T side are making this work. Edward, can you save your side once again? And 3 players stand for the Frenchman. Make it just 1 now for the CTs. The T side of EnVy look as though they've done just enough here. In this final round, Edward makes of it what he can, but not going to hit that one. Happy closes it. 16-3 is the final scoreline here on Cobble. And at the end, it was just